This film is to provide orientation for you, a group editor, to show you how to complete the group listing tasks and also provide you with an awareness of the cultural aspects that need to be considered in order to fulfill this role. The 4 tasks are actually very straightforward and not difficult, it's just a matter of familiarisation. Some of the steps will include an explanation of why they are important, and then I'll demonstrate what buttons to press to perform the task on the app. The first step has the most elements and takes about 15 minutes to cover, though the remaining 3 steps are much shorter and are around 4 minutes each. You can always stop the video and go back and replay at any time. It takes 30 minutes to complete. At the end of the video, we have 3 easy things for you to do on the app to let us and others know you have completed this orientation. Step 1. How to complete and update your group's public front door. Once you have downloaded and logged into the newest version of the IndyApp, the app will open on My Groups list. This page lists all your groups, including any support area groups and IndyApp admin role groups in green that you are a member of. A simple way to see if you are an editor for the group you want to work in is to select the group's options icon. If you can see the option of Manage Members, then you already hold the role of group editor or above. If you do not see this option, select Contact Admins and then send the group editors a private message requesting that they make you an editor. Okay, so let's assume you're now a group editor. Select the group whose front door profile you want to update. This opens to the Group Hub. Select the group name and your group's front door will open. Straight away you will see the yellow Edit button in the top right corner. This is also a quick indicator that you are an editor for the group, as only editors will see this button. Take a quick look through your group's front door. It contains all the basic public information and social media links for anyone wanting to find out more about your group, perhaps before deciding to make contact and get active in Yes. Think about your front door in this way, as a kind of informative advert that encourages anyone who reads it to contact you and get involved. This is your group front door as everyone is seeing it. But how do I edit it? It's very simple. Select the Edit button and this puts the page into edit mode. Now all the elements that can be edited are highlighted yellow. Let's work through each element and we'll leave the buttons at the top until last. To add a group profile image, select the yellow camera icon. This opens the available images on your device. Navigate to the image you want to use and select it. This changes your group profile image. Just to note, really large image files may be too big, and the smaller your image, the faster it will load, and less bandwidth and storage it will use on everyone's devices. If your chosen group image is too big, we recommend using a free online image compressor first, and then use that compressed version on your front door profile. Next are the buttons to your group's donate and social media links. Donate requires the email of the PayPal account your group uses. Add this email and hit OK. If your group has a Give or other website donation page, then add its full URL and hit OK. Same with each of the other social media buttons, the group's Twitter account URL, website URL and Facebook page. When adding URLs, it is important to include the full address, not just www. The best thing to do is copy and paste the full address from the browser, including HTTPS, etc. Any link your group doesn't have, just leave blank and that button will appear greyed out on your front door. Your group name was set at the time of registration, and so this is not editable from the front door. If you want to change your group name, please contact us directly on info@nationalyesregistry.scot. Now, let's edit or add your group's profile blurb. This is just a short description of the type of group you are, the aims you have as a campaign organisation, and maybe the kind of things you get up to in your community. As I said before, think of it as a short advert to encourage people to make contact and get involved. Be as welcoming as possible, because yes, grassroots community activism, at its best, is as much a social movement as it is a political one. Select the yellow text icon and write your group profile. You can have it pre-written and then just copy and paste it into the box. Once finished, select Done and your new blurb will appear in place. Next is the yellow Contact button. On the front door, this icon is green and is how a user makes contact with your group. By selecting Contact, any visitor to your front door can send a private message directly to every editor of your group. And we'll talk more about that later. When in edit mode, this Contact button is where we ask you to add the email address that is used for your group correspondence. This is used for our own internal backup communication purposes only and will not be seen or listed publicly anywhere on the platform. The Invite button is not editable. On the front door, pressing this button will open your device's email client so you can send a pre-made email with links to invite friends to download the IndyApp. Let's now look at the buttons at the top. The actions cannot be edited from the edit mode because it simply displays our group's list of action rooms. Action rooms are where campaigns and activities are being run and organised by those within the group. Displaying this list allows any user to browse the different activities a group is involved in. A person may be inspired to join your group in order to join in with a particular activity or campaign. Location. On the front door, this button shows the user the icon of what kind of group they are looking at, and by selecting it, the user is taken to the group's registered location on the map. In edit mode, selecting the location button produces a pop-up with the following options. Set as online only. If a group is an online presence only, it can list itself with this icon and they will not be shown on the map. Set as a Yes Hub. This allows a group to register themselves as a Yes Hub and will change their location pin to a blue Yes Hub pin. A Yes Hub is a physical premises run by local Yesers where the public can go in for advice on independence and a good source of campaigning Yes gear. If a group is already registered as either online only or a Yes Hub, then the editor will be given the option of Set as Local Group. The Location Settings menu also allows the editor to change group address and change location on the map. A group's address and map location is set at the time of its registration on the platform. However, should a group's location change, then the editor can update this information using these two options. Remember, when adding your group location, if it's not your group's Yes Hub, it should be somewhere central to your group's campaigning area. Location is very important as it is used to place your group pin on the Indy map, and this is how you are found by local volunteers when they search for local groups. Your group address is public, so it's important not to use a private address. We recommend using a public building with a central address within your group's campaign area, such as a hotel, a local library, or a local bar. Meetings. On the front door, this button lists group meetings from today's date onward, with their time, date, and location. The option menu allows the user to view location on the map and save the meeting to their device's calendar. In edit mode, this button lists all meetings including past meetings. This allows an editor to adapt an old meeting and relist it or simply delete it when it is no longer needed. To edit an existing meeting, simply select its options and choose Edit Meeting. Select whatever needs changed, make your change, and then select Modify. This makes the changes and returns you to the edit mode meetings list. To create a new meeting, select Add New Meeting. Then simply select each of the elements on the Compose Meeting page. Date and time are set with pickers. For meeting title, description and address, just follow the prompts to add the requested information. At the bottom of the page there are two tick options. The first by default is always set to single day meeting, though, if unticked, allows an editor to set a meeting over more than one day. Maybe a meeting is being organised over a weekend or a festival, for example, so just deselect this option and then use the extra date and time pickers as before. The second option allows an editor to list the meeting they have just written as members only. Selecting this option will change the listing to a white background, and when created, it will only be visible in the list to the group members. Publicly listed meetings are grey and will appear to anyone looking at your group's front door. Your group members will see both the grey public listings and the white members only meetings. This allows group only meetings to be organised, such as drinks in a member's house after a leafleting session, without publishing to all and sundry. The last button in this section is Events. Editing and creating events on your group's front door is a very similar process to that for meetings. So just like meetings, the front door button lists group events from today's date onward with time, date and location. Events also have the option of including an image, perhaps a poster or a flyer. An image really helps sell your event and is also downloadable to encourage increased sharing and advertising. In edit mode, the event button highlights yellow and lists all events, including past events. This allows an editor to adapt an old event for relisting or simply delete it if it's no longer required. To edit a past event, choose Edit Event. Select whatever needs changed, make your change, and then select Modify. This makes the changes and returns you to the events list and still in edit mode. To create a new event, select the yellow Add New Event button. Then simply select each of the elements on this Compose Event page. Date and time are set using pickers. To add an image, select the placeholder. This opens your image files on your device. Pick the image you want and select it. For event title, description and address, read and follow the prompts and add the requested information. At the bottom of the page there are two tick options. The first is always set to single day event. By deselecting, this allows an editor to set an event over more than one day, the same as it is in meetings. The second tick option allows you to list your event nationally on the IndyApp search page. Selecting for it to appear on Events page will change the listing to a grey background. Once created, will appear nationally on the IndyApp and locally in your own group's front door events. Events are listed as local only by default and will appear in your group's front door with a white background unless List in IndyApp is actively chosen. Once you're happy with your events listing, hit Create. This takes you to the events list for the group. We are still in edit mode, and here you can check and set the location pin on the map as accurately as you want. Hit zoom in and it shows where the pin has landed from the address you included. If you want to move the pin, say to a street corner or a beach or a particular area of a park, then move to that area on the map, zoom in on your chosen location as far as you can, centre the location on your screen and hit Set Pin. Then Save Pin. Now when someone wants to see the location on a map, it displays where you have put it. So, the Events button allows a group to list all their upcoming public events locally on their front door and, if they choose, nationally on the IndyApp search page. Let me tell you a wee bit more about the features of the IndyApp search page. The IndyApp search page is where anyone can easily search and view all group listings from across the country. An event's options allows someone to add it to their device's calendar, contact the group holding the event, view the location on the map, and it is also where a member can copy another group's event to their own local group. To share an event, simply select Copy Event to Local Group, and then choose which of your groups you want to share it to. In this way, each group's own local events list becomes a place where its membership can recommend events to each other from around the Yes movement, and in the process, open up Yes events from across the movement to any local users of their group's front door. This completes section 1, how to complete and update your group's front door. Step 2. Be there to answer and the movement will grow. When a person finds and reads your group's front door and is interested enough in your Yes group to make contact, it is very important that you and the rest of your editor team have a plan in place for how to respond. Remember, this is likely to be the person's very first interaction with the Yes movement, and so you are acting as an ambassador for the grassroots as well as your own group. Your response will define the quality of their experience. A timely, open welcome will magnify that person's initial enthusiasm to get campaigning. Fail to respond or respond in a defensive, slapdash, unfriendly way, and that fragile initial enthusiasm could very easily evaporate. Make no mistake, this is a key moment in the success or failure of creating a community-based, mass participation grassroots Yes campaign. And with lessons learned from the structure of the campaign in 2014, the grassroots now has this tool to take charge of that important process ourselves, group by group, to ensure this time it is a success and leaves no willing recruit ignored. So let me show you the contact process built into the IndyApp. The IndyApp has been designed to make finding and contacting the Yes movement's local grassroots as simple as possible for the keen but inexperienced supporter of Yes. All they have to do is search the IndyMap for a local group that they like the look of and hit the contact button. This opens a pre-written private message that they can modify if they like. This initial contact private message gets sent to all of the group's editors in order to alert the entire editor team to the new contact and to ensure a timely response gets made. It's up to you and your team to decide who is responsible for replying. Maybe in your team it's just the first person to reply, maybe responsibility is on a rota, or maybe you have a designated editor who enjoys meeting new people. This is the type of discussion you should be having as an editor team. So everyone is on board with an agreed plan to ensure new volunteers to your group and the Yes movement never get ignored. So the person sends their contact PM and you, as group editor, receive it. As with all private messages on IndyApp, you will receive a push alert and a green dot will appear on the envelope icon on the tab bar. Click on this and your PM list will appear with a new message at the top. If no message is highlighted with a blue glaze, press the refresh button. Select the message. When responding to a PM, simply touch the message and the compose message page will open. You can now compose a reply and send. How do you quickly alert your other editors in the team that you have responded? Go to your group on the list, select option Contact Admins, and select your fellow editors. This opens a message to be sent to the contacts you've selected. This is a simple way to let the team know that the new contact has been answered and the welcoming process is in hand. I should highlight that this does not create a group chat, only a private message to each editor. Obviously, if you haven't seen one of these responses, you need to do it yourself and probably revisit your editor team response plan. Next is step 3. So now you are messaging with a completely new prospective member of your group and the Yes movement. How should you handle that first contact conversation? This is where you or someone else in your team can really take charge of the situation. Have a think and decide as a team on the kind of introduction you want to make and the impression you want to create. Welcome them, of course, but also be sure to introduce yourself and describe the friendliness of your group and its aims. This is a good time to explain that the group is a real on-the-ground community campaign group and not just an online Facebook type group page. Find out a little more about the person themselves. Have they any campaign experience? Were they active in 2014? Are they completely new to grassroots activism, etc.? Remember, this process is just as much about you assessing them as genuine as it is about them assessing your suitability to them as a group. Think about this process for what it really is. Someone wanting to join your Yes group socially, not a digital interaction on social media. Why meet up? The IndyApp Yes directory is a grassroots tool that allows your community Yes group to be easily found by supporters of Yes, who can then be recruited by you as local volunteers to supercharge your group's local Yes campaigning. It's all about finding those willing boots on the ground and growing your group as and when local volunteers make themselves available. It is not a digital membership list on a social media platform. We have to emphasise this point because in taking the form of an app, this unique Yes platform can very easily be mistaken for just another version of the many social media spaces I'm sure you're already familiar with. It is not. One of the most important ways that this difference is made very clear to new users of the IndyApp Yes registry is that when they do make contact with the group and have their private message exchanges, the group in question always takes the meeting and the introduction process to the next level of face-to-face before any new person actually joins their group. This is because participating in a face-to-face meeting alone is enough to subconsciously underline to prospective members that they're getting involved in something much more committed and important than just another thumbs up and shared it on Facebook. Participation in a face-to-face meeting about membership makes that clear in itself, without anything else about it needing said. If you want to know more about IndyApp as a platform, visit our website and look at the section, What is the IndyApp? Okay, so now you understand why face-to-face is such an important part of membership recruitment and Yes movement growth. So, you have had your initial private message chat with your prospective new group member. Everything is good and they are keen to join. So this is where you offer to meet up. You can offer to meet up for a coffee or a beer in person if you both feel comfortable enough, but more likely you can suggest a private meeting online using the IndyApp. This meeting could just be with yourself and the new person, or it could be organised to include the rest of the editor team too. It just depends what the new person feels most comfortable with. I'll now show you how the IndyApp has been designed to make this as simple as possible to do. Suggest meeting for a quick chat face-to-face online using the IndyApp. Agree on who should attend. Would you prefer other editors were invited or just the two of you? Agree a time and a date. Select a message from the new person and open Compose Message. If you have agreed to invite others to your meeting, touch the To field, select your group, and pick those to be invited. Now, select Book Meeting at the bottom of the page. If the meeting is just for the two of you, the ring icon will go pink. If more than just yourselves are invited, it will be multicoloured. Selecting Book Meeting automatically opens a pre-written private message. Add your agreed date, day and time. You can also add to the message if required. Then send the message. You will see that the meeting icon is now attached to the sent message in your PM list. At the agreed date and time of the meeting, simply return to this message, select its meeting icon and choose Join Meeting. This will launch your browser and just follow the prompts to switch on your mic and camera. Finally, step 4. Add people to your group and manage your group members. First, we'll look at how to add a new member, and then we'll look at how the app allows you to manage members and their role. So now you have met the new contact, talked face to face, and you're both happy and ready to go ahead with membership of your group on the IndyApp. How do you do that? It's pretty simple. Navigate to your private message list using the envelope icon. Look for the person you want to add to your group. Select the options icon and then choose Add to a Group. This opens a list of all the groups you're an editor of. Select the group you want to add them to, read the pop-up and confirm the new membership by pressing Sure. This will send the new person an automated private message from you saying, "Hi, I've just made you a member of Group X. Welcome to the group. I will see you in the forum." An automated PM is also sent to the rest of your editor team, letting them know that you have made a new group member. That's it. The next time the new person visits their group list, your group will be there and they will be free to enter. Your group will also appear in their private message list, giving them direct contact with everyone in their new group. When a person joins a local group on the IndyApp, they now also automatically join that group's shared geographical support area. This brings together all the members of each individual local group into a wider shared support area group, now allowing members to seek and give help to each other across their local groups as well as within them. Well done! You have just grown your group and the Grassroots Yes movement. The last area to cover is how to manage members. If you now wanted to make that new person a group editor, or perhaps you accidentally made them a member of the wrong group and now you want to remove them, simply go to your group list by selecting the hub icon on the tab bar. Depending on where in the app you are, this may require selecting twice, or follow the link on any hub. Once in My Groups, scroll to the required group and select its options. From the menu, select Manage Members. This opens a list of all group members, including the role they hold. Select the box here, next to the member's name, and select the role you want to change them to. Press Done and Confirm by pressing Sure. This is also where you can remove a member or make them a restricted member. Restricting a member stops them from posting on the forums but still allows them to read what is going on in the group. Consider this a naughty step warning before the ultimate sanction of removal from the group. When you change a person's role, the IndyApp sends an automated private message to that person and the rest of the editor team to let them know of the change. If a box is empty next to a member's name, it means that your current role cannot manage the role of this member. This platform is designed to allow group editors to easily change the roles of group members up to and including the role that they hold themselves. And that covers the 4 steps and information that all editors need to know. To complete orientation, now do the following 3 tasks on the app. I'm going to tell you what they are and then show you how to do them. First one, say hello in the editors group forum. 2, from that forum, private message at least 2 editors that you do not know yet. And 3, give us your feedback in that forum on the orientation process. Step 1, say hello to the editors group forum. Very straightforward, go to your groups list, enter the editor group in green, navigate to the general forum. Using the green introductions thread, introduce yourself and your group by adding a comment. If you can't see the green introductions thread, then use search to find it. Once you have found it, click into it and select Add a Comment. Here you can introduce yourself and your group. use the next unread glazed button to move down and read who is there and what they've said. Two, select at least 2 people you don't personally know and send them a private message to say hello. Maybe organise an online meeting to practice using the private messaging system to book a meeting. Number 3, in the same forum, go and look for the feedback thread and reply to each of the questions. Here, it would be great if you could add your feedback to each question as a reply, and there is guidance here how to do this. We really appreciate honest feedback to help us improve the introduction and training for the IndyApp. Thank you.